I wanted to talk about this whole idea of well, I'm just going to offend like 5,000 people now listening. The idea of religion, black magic, witchcraft, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, everything that we've all been trained to be afraid of. As a matter of fact, I believe it's in Deuteronomy. It talks about, killing the witch. They don't deserve to live. Well, let me just say something about any religion that oppresses another is not of God, if that's what you want to call it, your higher power, your source, whatever. Anything that says that you're better than somebody else, or that you have the right to kill, or that you have the right to have slaves, or you have the right to beat your wife, or you have to make your wife wear a veil, or anything like that. We need to really, really embrace our maturity as a human culture and look deep inside and say to ourselves, is this a religion of love or is this a hate group? And I was thinking about this the other day. I was driving around. I took a beautiful ride on my scooter. I have a scooter here in the mountains of the Appalachians, and it was a beautiful, gorgeous day. And I was driving around, and I saw this, here I am in Appalachia, of course, in Virginia, and I saw this thing, Jesus saves. I was like, oh, Lordy, I can only imagine what's in that church. And they're you see things about sin, don't be a sinner, come wash away your sins with the blood of Jesus Christ, and all this Christian propaganda. And it's not just Christianity. There are many, many religions throughout the world that are oppressive, that are bigoted, and that teach hate as a fundamental aspect of being a good ism, whatever you are, Islam, ism, whatever. We have to ask ourselves, do we want to be a part of something that hates something else? And why are we allowing these institutions that hate women, that hate people of color, that hate gay people or transgender people, that hate, period, that really just want to exclude those who aren't different, no matter what that difference is? If don't get me wrong, you want to exclude pedophiles, that's great. If somebody is hurting somebody else, we need to let them know that is not okay behavior. A murderer is not okay. A rapist is not okay. A pedophile is not okay. That's harming somebody else. But a woman being a woman, a person of color being a person of color, a gay person being a gay person in love with another person, a transgender person being who they are, is not harming anyone. It harms nobody. Why should that be a doctrine of judgment and of hate? Why? And why is it accepted? Why do we accept that it is okay for a Christian group, a Muslim group, a Jewish group, a Buddhist group, a Native American group, whatever? I'm going across the board here. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm pointing a finger at all who believe that discrimination is okay, and we still allow them to call themselves a religion and or a church, and we give them special privileges. We allow them to hate with privilege. How is this happening? Why is this happening? Tradition? Fear of change? How do we allow this to happen? The only way we can stop that is to pull ourselves away from those types of organizations. The only way we can stop that is to stop funding them. The same thing goes with corporations or anything that we don't like. Don't give them your money. That's the number one thing you can do to remove the power from any institution and or corporation. You don't like what Walmart is doing? Don't shop there. Don't give them your money. You're a Catholic, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, but you don't agree with them perpetuating hate? Stop going. Stop giving them your money. I see so many people here in the Roanoke Valley that continue to go to Baptist churches, Christian churches, Pentecostal churches, whatever it is, and these churches still preach divorce is going to land you in hell. You're going to hell if you're divorced, and you're going to go to hell if you hang out with people that are divorced. Mind you, that's supposed to be a progressive arm of the Christian church that I happen to have heard a sermon. But yet we still keep going. We still keep supporting them. We still keep giving them our money. Because why? Our parents go there. Our friends go there. It's the thing we're supposed to do. We were taught it was the right thing to do. There's a word for that. There's a word, a phrase for continuing to do something and supporting something that you know in your heart is not right. The term is called cognitive dissonance. Look up the term cognitive dissonance. You know it's wrong and you do it anyway. You know your heart's not in it, but you do it anyway. To please others, to please the system, to please your family, to please your friends, to please your community. We have to stop. I did it. And thousands, if not millions of people are doing it around the world right now. If we're going to change the world, you have to have the courage. And thank you, Mary Beth Sammons, for bringing that up earlier. You have got to have the courage to move past your comfort zone and take that risk. Take the risk and stop saying it's okay. It's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And to move this a step further, let's move into the activist aspect. I've been doing this now for going on 10 years now. Radio show is going to be 7 years old soon. The YouTube channel is going to be 8 on July 6th. Happy birthday to my YouTube channel. It'll be 8 years I've been on YouTube. I've been on the radio for 6 and doing this work now for 20 years. But as far as an activist, almost 10 years. And I can't help but notice that, within the conspiracy world, I understand there are conspiracies. I still believe in many conspiracies. I don't call it a conspiracy. I call it corruption. I'd like to change the terminology because there seems to be a tabloid-esque feeling to the idea of conspiracy theorists, and unfortunately many of those websites have become tabloids and really are just ridiculous and cartoonish in some of the topics and stories that they share. But the reality of it is that we can still be aware of corruption. We can still be activists and expose corruptions without making a fool of ourselves, without sounding like an idiot. We can come across educated. We can come across with facts. I believe in conspiracy fact. Absolutely. Conspiracy fact. Is there somebody spraying something in the air? You're damn right somebody's spraying something in the air. I'm 47 years old. My skies did not look like that when I was in my 20s. There were no zigzags and crisscrosses and tic-tac-toes. But I have to ask myself, what is it? Did they change the fuel? Da-da-da-da. Well, I saw it with my own eyes. I did. I saw it with my own eyes. I was landing here in Roanoke last year, and I saw something coming out of the tip of the wing. And it was a chemtrail coming out of the tip of the wing of the plane. I filmed it. The film got screwed up, unfortunately. I never got to post it. But I did. The person who was with me, who did not believe in chemtrails, got to see it. I said, look at the tip of the wing. What's that? That's not jet, that's not jet exhaust. They're spraying something out of the tip of the wing. So at least I got to awaken one person that something is being sprayed. We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But that's a fact. I saw it. With that being said, and bringing this all back into the whole religion thing and bringing it into, conspiracy, lately I've been on this kick about, let's stop blaming the Illuminati, Unfortunately, it's too big of an umbrella. People use the term Illuminati when it's not the Illuminati. Too many people are calling witches and magicians Illuminati when they're not Illuminati. It's just not right. And I feel that all comes from that right-wing, crazy satanic panic back from the 70s and 80s, oh, it's satanic. Well, you know what? Do you realize that only like half of the people on the planet believe in that concept of Satan? That was created back in the Dark Ages to piss off the church and It's not, it's a concept. Satanism is a concept. Now, don't get me wrong, there are satanic groups, but they're worshiping a concept, It was never in the Bible until the Nicene Council. And it was put into the Bible to dissuade the pagans from worshiping their nature gods who worshiped the deer who had horns, or the buffalo that had horns, or the elk that had horns. So they gave the devil horns, and all of a sudden horns became evil. Whereas before that, horns were natural. It was a sign of majestic nature animals, and people that worship nature worship animals with horns. Oh my. So now we're saying nature's satanic. Jeez,
Animals with horns exist.
Yes. And they are part of the ecosystem. Thank you. They keep us alive. That's the other thing. Yes, you could prove you were worshiping something that was real. And it goes back, again, to this control thing. I really, really feel that those out there that are creating fear of the occult, that are creating fear of... I had someone post recently, I think we posted something about yoga or something really light, like minor, soft stuff. And someone's like, oh, yoga is of the devil. You'll become a devil worshiper if you do yoga. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Really? Yoga is of the devil. Stretching your body, aligning your chakras, feeling good, allowing the energy to move through you is now evil. It just goes to show you the mentality that's involved in this, and how deep-seated it is within our reality of our global culture, actually more of a Western and, if not only American culture, that seems to have spread. We've spread it to other cultures. Satanic panic is an American creation. I'm not saying that there wasn't satanic panic in the Middle Ages. They burned... Well, it's 5 million pagans, or not even, people accused of being pagans or witches. 5 million people were slaughtered because they did not believe in the Catholic way throughout Europe. So this is what we're perpetuating here when we're saying, oh, witches are evil, or magic is evil, oh, the all-seeing eye is evil, the evil eye is evil, the pentagram is evil, meditation is evil, transcendent, chanting is evil. Really? Really? This stuff has been around way before Christianity. Way before. It is the image it is the intention we put behind it that makes it evil.
It's very strange to hear you say this, because I do know of course, I'm pretty sure you know this, because you used to attend Catholic masses, that a lot of Catholic churches, they use altars and incenses and rituals and chanting.
Yeah, right.
So it's a very hypocritical thing for them to say that kind of thing is evil when,
they're doing it themselves. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. There's a great back in the day. This was back in the '90s. There was a T-shirt. I used to go to this Reiki it was before I became a Reiki master. When I first got involved in Reiki, I used to go to this Reiki circle at this place called the Magical Forest, and she had a T-shirt, and it was a guy in a robe carrying a little red wagon with a Christmas tree and Easter bunny incense and all this other stuff. And he said, is there anything else you Christians want to take? The robes, the Christmas tree, the Easter bunny. Yeah. And actually, I can say this. This was very interesting. I don't know what to think about it, but I did smile when I see it. I went to church with my best friend. My best friend. He probably doesn't listen to my show because I talk about this. My best friend. I went to church with him on Easter, and I was looking around, and I'm looking up at the beautiful stained glass. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the art of stained glass. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I look up at the stained glass, and in the upper right corner, this tiny little pane of stained glass with a pentagram, a full-fledged pentagram with a circle around it. And I can't help but ask, where did that come from? So, of course, I had to do my research. apparently, I forgot if it's the Amish or the Quakers, but in this area we have lots of them. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, and I think we have Amish here, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to say Mennonites. They paint pentagrams all over their houses and their barns and everything. They call it a hex sign. And it's so funny because when I read that, how many of you saw that movie Warlock back in the 80s? There was a movie called Warlock in the 80s, and they did. The Warlock was trying to attack one of the Amish, and he painted a pentagram on the side of the barn to keep the Warlock out. So it just goes to say there's so much misunderstanding. Anyway, so from what I understood, the church put it up there because because of the community, and pentagrams were actually a part of the culture back in the late 1800s here in the farming area. This is a farm area. So, the farmers used to put pentagrams. And actually, if you go to New England, and actually maybe here, but I know in New England I saw it a lot when I was living in New England. Again, I lived in farm region in New England, and everyone has stars on the front of their house. They're bought, they buy them at like Pier 1 or, these are all fancy-wancy New Englanders, but the star is exactly that. They put the pentagram as a protection for their home. And it's a part of their culture. And, again, I'm just trying to point out that there seems to be so much misunderstanding. And if anything, and I'm going to go back to what I've spoken about in the past, is that all of these groups, churches, conspiracy groups, all of this, that are telling you that all of this stuff is evil. Don't look at it. Don't study it. Don't learn it. La 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 la. It's evil. It's satanic. Don't do that. It's the fact that they don't want you to gain the knowledge that is involved in all of this. It's to keep you down. The idea that sacred knowledge is evil is really ignorant. The idea that all people that use it are evil is ignorant. We must look at it in a greater perspective and understand why this information has been kept from us. Why is this knowledge not being taught and not being shared openly? Why has it been hidden? Why do these people become secret societies? I'm not saying there aren't evil secret societies. Trust me, I know there are secret societies that are evil. I know there are people that use this stuff for evil, but not all of them. Not all of them. We have to be very aware of how each one is being used. I'm getting a little note here from someone at, I guess it's Nighthawk. Hi, Hawk. You got a tattoo, that's right. And I will say there is a difference. Most of the time, yeah, the one with the point pointing at the bottom is usually used by satanic organizations. However, don't forget, satanic organizations only became real or became a part of history during the Middle Ages when they were rebelling against the Vatican. And by today's standards, this satanic church was created by Anton LaVey, who was kind of a nutcase. God bless his heart. I know he's gone, and I don't know if you all know this, but he repented on his deathbed. He wanted to accept Christ as he was dying. But quite honestly, I mean, the satanic church, the modern satanic church, was created by a circus performer, or I forgot what he was, like a sideshow act or something like that. And he just, a bunch of people thought they would get power by doing basic Masonic / pagan ceremonies. They did use the upside down pentacle because it does show the horns going upward. But again, we have to go back to that idea. Are the horns themselves evil, or is that just propaganda from the church because they wanted pagans to convert to their religion? It all goes back to information, disinformation, and everything that I talk about on these shows, every article that I post, even my book that I've recently published. I always say research for yourself. Research for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. There's nothing more frustrating than posting something on Facebook and someone says, "Where's the proof?" I'm like, "What? You forgot how to use Google? You don't know how to Google? You don't know how to open a book? Go to your encyclopedia. Look it up yourself." And that's the words I'm going to leave you with today, guys. We got to go in just a few minutes. Thank you